What's up, guys? How's it going? Going live now because I didn't feel like waiting for the last 3 minutes. Let me lower this. I can hear this on the feedback on my headphones. I'm gonna lower that all the way down. All right, cool. What's up? What's up? What's up? It's been a minute. It has been a long minute. Who is in here? Hey, what's up? Hello, Mr. Morrison. How's it going? Anime girl. Long time no see. Yeah, yes, it's been all right. It's just been okay. I can't really complain, or actually, I could complain. And things have been a little interesting the last few months, but I won't bore you with the details. Let's see what happened. I went to Vegas for my sister's birthday. I got sick on the way back. I got really sick. Then I just didn't want to do anything for a while. Uh, so it was that. And yeah, a lot of other stuff happened, but I won't bore you with that. But it's I'm all right now. I think I'm good now. I'm back to YouTube, so I feel like I always say this. I feel like I always say, "Oh yeah, I'm back and I'm gonna start uploading now." This time I'm serious. This time I'm really will be uploading and doing more streams going forward for sure. That I can promise you. So but it's been all right. Hey, what's up? It's been all right. Um, I don't know how much I actually wanted to talk about this movie or this film. I think I'm just using it as an excuse to do another stream right now because I felt a lot of nothing watching this film. It was weird. I watched the whole thing. Well, first I tried to watch it weeks ago, and then I listened to the opening exposition from RWBY, and she said something along the lines of, "Oh, this mech thingy." I'm like, "What?" And I was like, "No, what? This dialogue is already annoying me. Turn it off." And then I came back to it weeks later to finish it. But yeah, it was I don't know. I think this movie was worse than the first one, honestly. Did I actually tweet this? Did I tweet this out? Let me see. I can't remember if I tweeted it out. That would be silly if I didn't do that. I think I did. Let's see. What did I say? Oh yeah, I said about 30 minutes. Okay. I'll tweet live now. So because I've been live now. So because I haven't been frequently uploading or streaming, this place has been a little dead, but that's going to change. I can promise you that that's going to change. Uh, so what's new, guys? I mean, what's going on? There's a lot of. I'm completely disconnected from RWBY and the community and all that stuff. I don't know what's going on. Even beyond RWBY, I don't know what's going on. I kind of like I don't know like what people are talking about. What's trendy to talk about? What's trendy to complain about online? I don't know. I kind of been checked out, but we'll see. I'm back in it now. We'll see. We will see. All right, that's enough. I've done that. I'm back. Did you watch Invincible? I did. Invincible. Let me pull up your I watched Invincible. I thought the first two episodes were kind of slow. I'm only really interested in what's happening with Omni Man and his son. That father daughter. What? That father son relationship. That's what I'm interested in. And we didn't really get that. That didn't really kick in until episode 3. But it's a well done series. First two episodes were fine. I thought the third one and the fourth one were better because it was more focused on Omni Man and his relationship with his son. That's what I really enjoyed. But overall, it's fine. I thought it would be a little better, but it's fine. I wouldn't say it's I think I preferred the first 4 episodes of season 1 than I have of season 2. but it's good. I'd say it's good. What about yourself? How do you feel about it? My friend told me that Justice League was nerfed in the movie. Yeah, it seemed like they couldn't really handle the grim until Team Ruby showed up, which was interesting. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we'll talk about that movie in a second here. Hey, what's up, Demetrius? You are my connection with Ruby at this point. I'm a bad connection, my friend. I appreciate that, but I am a horrid connection because I'm not really. I mean, what's the state of Ruby Volume 10? Let me ask you, what's the state of Ruby Volume 10? The last time I remember thinking about that was like months ago, when they said that they were doing a hashtag like Greenlight Volume 10. Has that got any traction? Has that helped the situation? I don't know. Invincible is a great series. Yeah, it's good. Right. And non-existent. So it's still basically the same situation. Like we don't know what's happening with Ruby Volume 10. Okay. I figure, I mean, that's his current situation. And I don't think these two Justice League movies is going to help the situation, honestly. In fact, I think the performance, I would assume the performance of these two movies have not been great. And that's probably going to hurt the situation rather than help, if I'm being completely honest with you guys about that. I don't really know what's happening with that. Yeah, Invincible does a really good job with the action and anime girl. I agree with you. So still no movement on volume 10. 2024 looking like a big year for anime and great games alike. I have to get back into gaming. I'm still playing. I'm still like knocking away at God of War little by little. Ragnarok. I just played that game for the first time in a long time the other day. So we'll see where we're at. MK versus DC versus RWBY. What is MK? Mortal Kombat? Oh, is that what you're saying? Mortal Kombat? That was a guess. I think you're talking about Mortal Kombat. In before Mortal Kombat versus DC versus RWBY. I know, right? Probably would do that. Oh yeah, RWBY Volume 2 parts. Yeah, it had the potential to be the least interesting. Yeah, it was. I felt nothing after watching it. I was like, what's happening here? Like, I don't really get it. We're about to get into it now, but I still don't really know exactly what happened in that damn movie. But we'll talk about it here in a second. It's 12:05. Just catching up with you guys. 5 minutes in. Okay, let's talk about this film, cinema, this piece of cinema. Let's talk about it. Okay. So, this is a DC special. If you didn't know, Mortal Kombat, yeah. I thought it was doggy shit, making bats and super soups younger, but seemed over sexualized to me. If going for a younger audience, didn't they say they were going to go ahead and start working on Volume 10, even though it wasn't greenlit yet? From what I understand, they were writing Volume 10 because they can, because RWBY isn't under the writer strike, you know. So they were free to start writing on it. But as far as animation or story, like any of that, like storyboarding, I don't know about that. But as far as writing, I think they've been writing Volume 10. It may even be written, but they can't go any further than that. Apparently, they got to hire all their animators back because apparently they let all their animators go anyway. So we'll see how that goes. It's crazy. It's sad it's sad that I find fan made content more enjoyable than the actual content in terms of RWBY. Because a lot of the time the fans, if you're taking the time to actually put forth any effort as a fan, whether it be fan fiction or any type of animation, you have to really, really be invested and care about that, you know. Tom Ton, I appreciate you, sir. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm buck 50. Movie feels like something you win out of. Which cereal box? We talking Frosted Flakes? Are we talking Cheerios? We talking Fruity Pebbles? Captain Crunch? I was a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy myself. That thing was so good. Terrible for you. Don't eat Cinnamon Toast Crunch, please. But it would taste so good. But yeah, I don't really. Yeah, this movie was Fruity Rice. That's is Fruity Rice like Fruity Pebbles, like the knockoff brand? Fruity Rice, or like instead of Fruit Loops, like what was it called? Fruit Rings, like the knockoff brand. Tastes the same, but not exactly the same, but it tastes close enough. They can get the cheap brand. Yeah, I've been there when I was a kid. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is legit. It is. Yeah, I appreciate the super chat, my friend. All right, let's unfortunately try to start talking about this. I don't know where to begin. This movie is weird. What's the next slide? I don't know what slide do I have in here. Oh yeah, Killer Croc. Fruit rounds, yeah, fruit rounds. I didn't love the way Killer Croc. So the first like zoomed in face we got, like the first thing we see is freaking Killer Croc. I'm like, is that the best like step you should make? Is that putting your best foot forward? I did not like the way he looked on the screen. Maybe it was just me. Something about the 3D rendering of Killer Croc just did not work for me. It's like the first thing we saw. Like it just looked weird. It just bothered me. I had to call it out because it just bothered me. I couldn't not talk about Killer Croc. It was kind of weird. But he's the first thing we see. So there's an attack in the DC world from the Grimm, and I will say that the Grimm were pretty strong in this movie. They were presented as strong, like the heroes and the villains. They can really deal with the Grimm. They were struggling, which on one hand I appreciate it because typically the Grimm are fodder, but on the other hand, I hate Grimm fights now. I'm tired of Grimm fights. I've seen enough of them. I've seen so many Grimm fights. I've seen them all. I don't need to see any more Grimm fights. So yeah, it was interesting. So in one hand, it was good that they made the Grimm strong. On the other hand, me as a RWBY fan, I've seen enough Grimm fights to last a lifetime, so I was kind of tired of it, you know. What to do to Crocky? It is weird. I don't even know. Like, I'm not even sure what the solution is. I don't know what the solution is. I just didn't like it. Yeah, I don't really know. Like, I don't love his look in this movie and the way it's rendered. Look at his head. Yeah, it was just. I'm no graphic designer. I'm no like artist, so I'm not gonna say, oh, they should have done this. But I can just say, as a viewer, I could not handle the way it looked. What did he do to Croc? Killer Croc looks weird in the engine. Yes, it looks weird. Thank you. Killer Croc is an abomination. I get that joke. Killer Croc looks weird. Did it pull a bleach, turn the Grimm in a car, and at least make them look focused? Yeah, I haven't watched Bleach in a while, my friend. Yeah, so that's my first. So I can't remember what the slides are in this thing. So we're gonna discover it together. So Killer Croc, yeah, I didn't love Killer Croc. Move on to the next slide here. Okay, so they made a big deal about Blake not having her ears. Why? I don't know. Like, why? What? I'm pretty sure we've seen. I mean, I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure there's been some type of animal / human being in the DC universe. Oh yeah, we talked about this in the trailer 4 months ago when I did the trailer breakdown. She's in the freaking what's the chick's name? She's the latest villain in the Wonder Woman 1984. Cheetah. Yeah, Cheetah. She got cat ears, right? So why can't Blake have her cat ears in the show? I don't know. They made a big deal of it. Oh, there's no fondness in this world, so no cat ears for Blake. I'm like, why can't you have the cat ears? Like, in a world where there's superheroes, you can't have cat ears? I'm like, whatever. Not a big deal, but something that stood out to me when I was watching it. Like, I don't know why she can't have them. I don't know why she can't have her cat ears, but oh, there's no fondness in this world. Yeah, whatever. She should have her cat ears. So there's that. Let's see what else. What else I want to talk about here? No cat ears for Blake. Beast Boy, Vixen, Hot Girl, Cheetah. Yeah, exactly. You have a lot of animalistic heroes and villains in the DC universe. Ryan, you're spot on. Spot on, Ryan. That's correct. So I'm like, why are they making a big deal about her not having cat ears in the DC world? I mean, come on. Blake looks baked. That's the interesting. That's almost like a tongue twister. Blake looks Blake. Still can't say it. Blake looks baked. Blake looks baked. Blake looks baked. Yeah, I'm having trouble with that one. So these writers made the decision to basically write Batman out of the movie. In a world where you have a crossover between DC and RWBY, one of the more popular characters in the DC, arguably the most popular outside of Superman, it's the debate between Superman and Batman. You have a very popular character in Batman, and you make the decision to poison him and take him out of the movie, essentially. So Batman is sidelined while the rest of them are out trying to save him and get the poison. I didn't understand that decision. Of all the people that you could have poisoned, why Batman? He's the more popular character. You can have him out with the RWBY characters, but they made the decision to have him be poisoned and be in the background most of the movie because they're all trying to save him. I didn't understand that decision. If you have the DC characters, you might as well use them and use the popular characters if you can. And they made the decision for whatever reason to sideline good old Batsy. Yeah, he looked roughed. Yeah, he looked roughed in this thing. But this is when he was poisoned, so I guess it makes sense. But I didn't understand the decision making in having Batman get poisoned. This is the guy that you should have at the forefront and have him interacting with the RWBY characters since he's such a popular character, but he was the one that they had to save. He got hit. What did he get stung by? By the freaking I already forgot the name of the Grim. It's the Scorpion Grim. I can't remember. I'm out of it when it comes to. I'm like so out of it with RWBY. The Scorpion Grim. Something, the Death Stalker, like something like that. What is it? Somebody tell me what's the name of the Scorpion Grim in RWBY? Batman is nerfed, but put on the bench in the story. Perfect Cell versus budget decreased Batman. Death Stalker, yeah, it is Death Stalker. Thank you, Morrison. Thank you, Mr. Morrison. Death Stalker, yes. So he gets hit with a Death Stalker and gets poisoned. I'm like, these RWBY characters deal with these Death Stalkers all the time, but potentially they've been upgraded. They were upgraded in the movie. So they explained it by saying the Grim are super powered and they are designed to handle the Justice League characters. So that's why Team RWBY could kill them and hurt them, but the DC characters were struggling because they had been programmed and designed to combat the DC heroes. Question: who do you guys prefer, Batman or Superman? Batman or Superman? I'm a Batman guy. I grew up on the Batman the animated series, and I watched the Justice League animated series. So and both of those had Batman in it. So I was leaning Batman over Superman, but I like Superman as well. Yeah, but that's a good question. What do you guys prefer, Batman or Superman? Let me know. So I already talked about the Grim. They were more formidable in this movie because of what I just described. So we'll skip past that. This sequence to kill this damn dragon took forever. At least it felt like it did. Like, how long did it take to kill this damn dragon? It felt like the sequence went on forever. But again, maybe because I'm so sick of Grim fights that this felt like it was longer than it really was. But I felt like the sequence went on forever. Like, kill this damn dragon already so we can move on. It took Sun and Blake way faster than this, even though it was a souped up Grim. So they like name dropped Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Here in a second about names they dropped in. Um, the Flash, he was going through it in this movie. This was carryover from the first film. He was possessed or controlled or programmed. I still don't know what the hell's going on in this movie by Kilgore in the first movie, and now he feels guilt. He feels like messed with. He feels like he wants revenge on Kilgore for getting inside his head and all that stuff. And he's going through it. He's struggling. Everybody's like, all the DC heroes are like struggling in this film. It feels like, I didn't hate his arc. I thought it was fine. But yeah, this is one of the characters that they actually gave some attention to, and they invested in this character a little bit. So I wanted to point that out, that they actually tried with the Flash. So we can say that. But it was interesting. See a lot of Batman, both Batman and Superman, 50-50 split. I honestly think this movie would have been better. Oh, I lost your comment there. I honestly think this movie would have been better with just one character, Shazam. Would have fit better. Would have fit better with the RWBY. Yeah, we talked about this in the trailer breakdown. They should have just done not Justice League. They should have just done Teen Titans, but they did the Justice League because it's a bigger IP. But Teen Titans would make more sense in the first film, at least. Now they came to the DC world, and RWBY and Team RWBY are all adults now. So I guess it would make sense now to be with the Justice League characters. But in the first film, it definitely should have been Teen Titans for sure. Definitely should have done Teen Titans in the first film. Is this movie better than the first? No. I think the first film is better. This film felt more empty. It felt more duller. It just felt like, I'm trying to figure out the best word to use. It felt like it just existed. The movie just existed. It didn't feel like it had any like soul or life to it. Honestly, I thought the first film was a little better. Honestly, so they made this big hullabaloo about. There's this weird part in the movie where they don't realize that they have powers, and I'm a little confused by that because they had in the first film, the heroes came to Remnant by way of the program, and they had semblances, and it took them a minute to realize that because we had semblances in the first film, when we go to the DC world, we'll have powers. And it took them a minute to kind of like realize that. And I thought it was weird. Like, shouldn't that have been the first thought you had? Like, why? Maybe we can use our semblances, or maybe we have power in this world. It's a weird thing because then later on, RWBY, I think Superman asked RWBY, "Hey, how do you know you have powers?" And like, because of semblances. I'm like, yeah, duh. So why are the other characters struggling with this reality? Like, yeah, you should have powers in this world because you had semblances in your world. So it felt kind of weird. Weird dialogue there, but we won't knock it too much for that. I didn't really know what was going on with that. The dialogue in this movie was weird all around, honestly. What we're talking about next? Let's see. Grimm, Flash, semblances. Okay, so there's this big. I think this is the next slide. Let's see. No. Okay, so there's this big mystery about who's helping Kilgore or who's helping Kilgore. Yeah, is it Salem? Is it Dr. Marlowe? Dr. Marlowe got a name drop, which was actually surprising. Dr. Marlowe is the villain from the video game that was on. I think it was released to multiple consoles. I think, but yeah, Dr. Marlowe was the video game character, and they mentioned him in this. But was it Salem? Is it Dr. Marlowe? So it turned out to be Watts. This looks familiar. This reminds me of the shot where Oscar gets punched by Crow. But yeah, it turns out to be Watts, and I'm like, how is this happening? To talk about he had a fail safe in case he died. He uploaded his consciousness to the computer in Atlas, and that's how Kilgore was able to access it, and it helped him, and it made no goddamn sense whatsoever. I mean, what? It makes no sense. Is this one of the things that has to happen to make the movie work? Because now we have to believe that at some point he uploaded his consciousness to the computers in Atlas, and then Kilgore was able to access that from another universe, and then they had some kind of alliance through the computers. It just doesn't make much sense. Once you start trying to think about how they went about this storyline with Watts and Kilgore, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You just gotta kind of turn your brain off and accept what they're telling you, because I don't understand. In the world of RWBY, if you're going to upload your consciousness or some version of your consciousness, in the world of RWBY, you kind of have to upload your aura almost, right? Kind of similar to Pietro, but Pietro has a semblance that allows him to do that, right? He can I need a refresher on RWBY. Like, I think Pietro can give away his semblance. That's how he made Penny, maybe? Or was that something he did by machine? Or I don't remember. It just, the explanation does not make much sense. But in the world of RWBY, I think you have to like give away your semblance, or you have to use your semblance. It's like an aura, not semblance. It's like an aura thing. So if you're gonna transfer your consciousness to something, I think it's gonna have to be aura based. But they don't really go into that at all. Just kind of say, "Oh, he uploaded his consciousness in case of a emergency, and now he's back." It's really like bullshit. What word am I looking for? Bullshit sequel knowledge or sequel shit, where you're trying to like justify something in a sequel. You say, "Oh, he's back because he uploaded his consciousness," or "He's back because he made a copy of himself, he made a clone of himself," some bullshit that comes out of nowhere. That's how they justify Watts being involved in this, and it just comes off really weird. Comes off really weird. So yeah. How does the internet work in different universes? If magic was involved, it would make more sense. Yeah, I just don't understand how they did it. This is one of the things where it kind of happens. You just have to accept that it happened. I don't know. Internet gas, I guess. Science BS, I guess. Yeah, it's just a bunch of gobbledygook. You just got to force it to make it work. I still don't know how it. I don't know. I don't know how a lot of this shit works in this movie. But mentally, I was trying to pay attention, but I just wasn't caring, because you have this weird dynamic between Watts and Kilgore, where Watts, the reason why Kilgore was trapped in the first movie is because Watts trapped him in order to kill him. And Kilgore's entire motivation is killing the Justice League. But I'm wondering, why was he teaming up with Watts to begin with? Maybe that was explained and I missed it. Why was Watts teaming up with Kilgore at all? Maybe he just reached out to Kilgore in the internet, in the multiverse internet. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, how was that connection made? And then I don't know, and I don't care enough to know what's going on between Watts and Kilgore. But it's weird. Thanks YouTube for no notification. That sucks. Hello, Naruto. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Maybe there's something on my end I should do, but I don't know. Yeah, YouTube's weird. In terms of notification, YouTube is very weird. Plot hole after plot hole. Yeah, maybe if I go like really deep dive into it, I can like come up with an explanation as to why Watts and Kilgore were able to connect, but it just wasn't obvious on the surface when watching the film. But maybe that's just me. The Dimensions Wide Multinet. Justice League logic? Yeah, I don't know. So there's actually this decent line from RWBY that I actually liked, which is a surprise. RWBY says something along the lines of, she says, heroes fall, so she wants to get as much done as she can before it happens to her. So in other words, her mom, who she thought was the greatest huntress ever, she was a hero, a great hero, a hero like she read in the books, and her mom died fighting the good fight. So she feels that that's what happens to all heroes. Eventually, they all fall. So she wants to get as much. That's why she's kind of like, she's on the go. She's on the go. She's on the go. Busy, 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 because she feels like she's going to fall as well. She's going to die soon. So, because all heroes fall. So she has to get as much done as she can before that happens. And I like that. That should have been something that was with RWBY's character in the actual show. for at least since volume 4, after the fall of Beacon. That would have been nice for RWBY's character then. Now, so that I like that line. Now the problem is, in this movie, RWBY, how do I say this? RWBY is supposed to be behaving in a way that makes you think she's had this death wish, or she's going 100 miles an hour and she's not slowing down. But it's not really any different than how she usually acts. So I'm not really buying this whole, oh, RWBY, what's like, there's a scene where Yang is talking to RWBY. So RWBY, got to slow down. What's happening? And like, she's not acting any different than she usually does. This is typical for RWBY. So I don't know what the writers were going for. If they were trying to make it clear that RWBY was behaving in a way that is different than what we've seen, they did not do a good enough job. Because for me, RWBY was still being RWBY. She didn't seem any different than usual. So it never landed this whole, oh, I'm going too fast. I'm not slowing down. I have a death wish. And I never bought that, because she wasn't behaving any differently than RWBY usually does. So I didn't really get what they were trying to do there. The line was good, but the execution with the character's decision making and the way it was portrayed on the screen did not match the line. So it just ended up feeling kind of bland, I don't really understand what they're going for in terms of that. Like, it just didn't do enough. They didn't do enough. That's all. But the line was good. But RWBY wasn't really behaving in a way that matched the line, so it kind of just fell flat. I prefer you either die the hero or live long enough to become the villain. Two-Face, yes. Two-Face. RWBY, her character didn't matter in volume. Well, let's not get started with volume 9, okay. RWBY volume 9 was ultimately nothing really changed that much. Even though the writing for volume 9 was better than usual from the usual volumes, at the end of the day, it was very much a filler volume, because nothing really changed for our heroes. RWBY kind of ended up in the same spot she was before. So more determined to take down Salem now. So, but at the very least, her development in volume 9 was minimal. And that's being nice. So ultimately, in the end, they trap Kilgore and Watts, and that's that. It was like, kind of just happens. They stop him. They defeat Kilgore and Watts, and that's the movie. it just didn't land. The ending didn't land. The conflict didn't land. I didn't really realize. I didn't really know what was going on with Kilgore and Watts. Are they friends? Are they enemies? They kind of hated each other, but who's the big bad here? Is it Kilgore? And in the end, it felt like the big bad was Kilgore ultimately. But if that's the case, why even bother bringing Watts in? What was the point? Did you just want a villain from RWBY universe and a villain from the DC universe? Um, they brought back the Watts voice actor for this. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe they should just came up with a different villain altogether. But yeah, they used Watts. It didn't work, and that's that. Skylar, you're late. Shame on you. I don't know if this movie is canon. Can someone tell me if this movie is canon? I don't know. Ruby is Ruby. Her character didn't matter in Volume 9. I think I read that one. Yeah, I don't know if this is canon. I don't think it is. I'm gonna say no. If this movie was canon, that means that it wasn't their first kiss. Who kissed? I'm so that is going to show you. Oh, oh my god. What? 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 Okay. Okay. I kid you not. I swear on everything I love. I did not know that was in there. I saw all right, this lights. This is a nice like shot to end the stream where I show like the conclusion. I had no idea that was back there. So yeah, they kissed in the movie, in the cut, in the back. They should have just put it front and center. Might as well just put it front and center. Like I don't know why they have it in the back there, but honestly, did not know that was in there. I honestly did not know they kissed. What kiss are you talking about? Like kiss. What are you talking about? Kiss. Like who kissed? Like what? Did you imagine that? Like what do you mean kiss? Yeah. So yeah, they kissed. Clearly, it's on the screen. I didn't even see that. Um, would this be before the timeline? Yeah, if this took place before Volume 9, which it probably would have, right? Yes, of course it would be. Yes, yes. Then yeah, if this is canon, then they already kissed, which means so that kind of answers the question, right? This is not canon because if this is canon, then that completely just shits all over Volume 9, right? So obviously this is not canon. So yes, Skylar, thank you for bringing that to my attention that they absolutely kissed in the damn movie, and you can see it plain as day on my screen, and I had no idea. That's funny. Like what kiss? Like kiss? Like what's he talking about? Kiss? That's funny. No, it's after Volume 9. How can it be after Volume 9? How? Am I crazy? Because no, it has to be before Volume 9, right? Wait. Stop. Time out. Wait. You might be. No, she. Wait. No, it has to be before. It has to be before, right? When is this? Somebody tell me. When does this damn movie take place in the timeline? Supposedly, if it was canon, where would it take place? Where would it take place? Would it take place in Part 2? Is after Volume 9. Are you shitting me? Wait. That just goes to show you how. But I thought they woke up in Atlas. Oh, maybe volume part 2 is maybe okay. Part 2 is after volume 9. So part 1 is before volume 9, and part 2 is after. Wait. Cause now I'm confused. So give me a second real quick. Oh yeah, they are in Atlas. No, they are in Vacuo. They are in Vacuo. So this is actually a bit of a snippet of volume 9 almost, volume 10 almost. Yeah, you're right. They are in freaking Vacuo. I didn't even register. That did not register one bit. But you're right. They're in the sand. They're fighting Grim with the albino freaking um snake here. Yeah. I almost want to go rewatch this now because this is post volume 9. And I didn't register it didn't register in my mind when I was watching it that I was watching something post volume 9. But yeah, they are in Vacuo. So whatever I'm losing it. Okay. So so I have to now reframe. So okay. So Ruby's character arc in this movie is based off of her experience in volume 9. Okay. 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 So she's behaving this way because she was depressed in volume 9, saw her mom, came out of it because she in volume 9 she came to the conclusion that Ruby Rose was all she needed to be. Ruby Rose was enough. Her mom loved her the way she was, and she accepted herself and was more determined to take down Salem. Okay. And she steps into Vacuo, and now she's going 100 miles an hour because heroes fall, and she wants to get as much done as she can before she falls. I don't know if those two things square. I don't know if those two things link up the way it should. Now that I'm thinking about post volume 9, I'm not quite sure Ruby's character in this movie fits what just happened. But I almost need to go back and like relook at things now because I honestly did not register it. Like I don't remember that scene. I don't remember the fight in Vacuo at all. But if that's post Vacuo and Ruby's behaving in a way that she feels like if I fall, heroes fall, all heroes fall. So I need to get as much done now as I can before I fall. That's her mindset coming out of, hey, my mom loves me. My mom loved me the way I was, and I was enough. So now I should accept myself, accept Ruby Rose, let go of the depression, and step out into the light. Yeah, I don't know if that works. But yeah, thank you for this for letting me know because I honestly did not know that'll post volume 9. That's funny. Her arc in volume 9 doesn't really track either. She didn't want to be herself anymore and suddenly decided that she's enough because she remembered something her mom said. It's not the best. Ryan, I agree with you. It's not the strongest. It's not the strongest. I can't remember my take on that in volume 9, but I think I said what I said was okay. I remember now. I actually remember. I think I said if you want me to believe that her mom is what drove her out of the depression, like drug her out of the depression. What they needed to do was have a full on scene with Ruby talking to her mom by way of magic, by way of bullshit, by way of the fairy tale nonsense. They should have had a full on scene where Ruby is talking to her mom. Ruby says she wants to be her mom. Like, that's what she wants. She said, who do you want to be? I want to be my mom because I thought my mom was the best. And she becomes her mom. Her mom says, no, this is not the right way to go about it. Let me talk to my daughter. And then they talk. Ruby has a full on conversation with her mom. And that is a strong enough scene or moment to make me believe that she would then let go of the depression. But the whole, we're getting sidetracked right now, big time. But the whole, oh, my mom loved me just the way I was, and that's all I needed to hear, didn't land. So I agree with you. Now that I think about it, oh boy, that was like in the back of my mind. I had to pull that out. But yeah, that's where I was with Volume 9. I agree with you. It wasn't the strongest. I agree with you. My friend watched the movie. He told that Ruby is doing things that would get her killed in a death wish. Ruby wasn't doing anything more crazy than, like, she wasn't doing anything crazier than she usually does than I can remember. She was going 1,000 miles a minute, sure, but she's fast to begin with. So that visually didn't affect me because her semblance is all speed. So when she's going super fast, it wasn't really registering, oh, she's going too fast, she's doing too much, she's going at an unhealthy speed. It just didn't work for me. Pure messy timeline wise, yes. Yeah. Do I have any more slides here? Yeah, this whole virtual reality / real reality / I didn't really know what was up or what was down when it comes to the universes. I know that they traveled to the DC world by way of going and finding Atlas Tech and then tapping into it in a way where Cyborg could pinpoint their location in the multiverse, and then they stepped through a portal. It didn't make any sense. Like, it just, just multiverse nonsense. When you have to do something multiverse, you kind of just make it work. Like, whatever, that's what happened. And but this whole virtual, I don't know what was virtual and what was not, what was real and what was not. It was all convoluted and confusing. So I kind of just gave up and trying to figure out where they were. All right, they gotta kill Gore, they gotta kill Watts, and then they'll go back to where they need to be. But sometimes I didn't really know where they were and what was happening in terms of the world they were existing in. Yeah, so this is it's freaking Vacuo. Like, for some reason, it just never registered in my mind that it was Vacuo. But clearly, you can see they're going back to Vacuo. I was just so disconnected from RWBY because I haven't thought. Yeah, you guys have to understand. I haven't thought about RWBY not once since August. So when I watched this film, I like to be a completionist because I watched the first part 1, so I wanted to watch part 2. It really did not register. Like, the greater RWBY world did not register one bit. So now that I see the sand, I'm like, oh yeah, that was Vacuo. Okay, I just remember them returning to their world. I don't remember where they were returning to. But yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's interesting. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I'm very concerned about RWBY now. In what way, Faye? What about RWBY is concerning? Med. Did I say it? MED? Thank you so much. I think RWBY's arc is them taking the problems she always had with recklessness and impulsiveness to its conclusion. Good idea, bad execution. Yeah, I guess so, because she's always kind of been reckless and kind of impulsive, kind of like in volume 4, when her uncle tells her to stay her ass back, she's like, "This is my fight too." You know, that kind of plays into it, right? But like I said, she's always been that way. So this whole Ruby, you have to calm down now, like lady, like she's been this way for volumes. Like, what do you mean? Like that's it just didn't feel any different. But yeah, that's a good point. This is my fight too. That's a good point though. Yeah, it was a very empty movie with bad villains. If the objective was to bring in more RWBY fans by way of DC, it was a failure because ultimately this is very much a RWBY movie. If you are a fan of RWBY, you will enjoy this movie more so than if you are a fan of DC. They were always constantly referencing stuff that happened in the past volumes. They never referenced something that happened in the DC world, like the greater DC world, like within the comic world, that much. They were constantly doing exposition about RWBY, the world of RWBY. Like, oh, this happened this time, and Dr. Marlowe and Salem, and they were constantly referencing stuff that happened in the past nine volumes, but they never referenced anything so much in the greater DC comic book world that would like grab a DC fan. This was a RWBY movie with DC characters in it. That's what it was. This movie appealed to the RWBY fan base, and I'm not sure how any DC fan, especially what they did with Batman, I'm not sure how any DC fan is going to look at this and say, "Oh wow, I want to watch RWBY now." Like I don't think so. You know, I don't buy it one bit. Yeah, the whole dialogue with Ruby and Yang didn't work. The problem is that she's always been like that. Yeah, right. She didn't do anything she hasn't already did. Yeah, typically did. Yeah, it felt forced. It felt forced because they weren't doing a good enough job showing on screen how she was being different than I've usually seen her. So that's why it felt like was just something they were trying to do. Like we need to do something with Ruby. We need some type of character arc with Ruby. Okay, let's do this, but didn't take it far enough. Maybe they could have done something like Ruby is just maybe Ruby actually almost died. Like she never was she was never any real danger. Maybe if there was a scene where she was actually in danger, like she almost really died, maybe I would agree that yeah, that makes sense. That now it registers, but she was never in any real danger, and she wasn't going any faster than she usually does, so it just never landed for me. You know, just never did that. Overall, this movie was a big waste of time. I can't imagine that they made that much money. I can't imagine that this was worth the squeeze. Volume 9 was delayed for this. Volume 10 was affected by this as well. Was it worth it? I can't imagine it was. I'll have to say it was not. Like, it wasn't my money, it wasn't my time wasted. But I really believe that this pair of films could be the reason why Volume 10 is not greenlit. Because if old Zaslav looks at the numbers and says, wait, why are we greenlighting Volume 10? Like, we just did a 2-part DC movie, and that didn't make any money, and no one gave a shit about that. So why are we continuing to greenlight these little side projects, these little... I can't imagine he thinks that RWBY is anything worth his time. He may just have pity on it and say, "Oh yeah, you guys make your little volume 10, sure. What's the budget? Okay, fine, But I can't imagine he's in complete budget cutting mode. If you haven't noticed, if you didn't know, old Zaslav over at DC, he's the money budget guy. He's like cutting cost because I think I saw some report where it said that there's like a 60. I don't even believe this report. There's like a 60% chance of bankruptcy by Warner Brothers Discovery. So they're like hemorrhaging money, and he's doing all he can to save money and nickel and dime here and there. And I'm supposed to believe that Zaslav and the crew are going to greenlight Volume 10. It's a rough one. Do you think RWBY could ever get a full-on reboot if they saw the money in it? Sure. If there was money in it, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think that old Zaslav is going to see it that way. And I don't think that the writers are going to change anyway. So now, if you took the IP, put it in different hands, then maybe you got something. Maybe you can cook with hot grease. But I don't see that happening anytime soon because RWBY, and much of people don't realize this, RWBY is very much niche. People don't know what RWBY is. You stopped 100 people on the street, ask them what RWBY is. Most of them, not even most, 99 of them would not know what RWBY is. Maybe one, and that's being lucky. Like maybe one of 1,000 people would know what RWBY is. I remember there was this whole debate about, like, this shows like how online bubbles are. There are people who exist in the RWBY bubble. There was talk of Disney, like some guy started this rumor about Disney buying RWBY. No, we don't want Disney buying RWBY. Like, wake the hell up. What world are you living in? Disney don't want no goddamn RWBY. Warner Brothers don't even want it. They're trying to sell it. You think Disney of all people want to buy the RWBY property? Wake up. Wake up. Get out of your bubble. Get out of your RWBY bubble, okay? Get online. Get offline. Go outside. Touch grass. RWBY is not a strong IP. Nobody along the lines of a Disney or Amazon is going to want to buy the RWBY IP, okay? It's nothing in comparison to what those people talk about on a day-to-day basis, okay? Get out of your RWBY bubble. Wake up. You know, just like that. It's not the case. If RWBY is going to survive, it's going to be a Warner Brothers Discovery decision, or somebody like a lesser, I don't know, maybe I don't know, someone had to just buy it. Some like money man had to buy the IP, but I don't know. I don't know, man. It's gonna. If I were like a diehard RWBY Volume 10 guy, like I would be scared. I'll be really scared. Oh, Super Mario Brothers more recognized. That's laughable. It's not even that's not even close. Like it's like everybody who knows what Super Mario's are. Everybody knows Super Mario. Everyone. You stop somebody on the street now. You know Super Mario? Like, yes, I know Super Mario. Of course. That's like I would say 9 of 10. You stop 10 people on the street, none of them will know Super Mario. RWBY, 1 of 2,000. People don't know RWBY. People don't know RWBY. I'm telling you guys. Sometimes we live in our online bubbles. We think that everybody knows what we know, but most people are not online. Most people are not on Twitter. Most people wake up, they go to work, they watch Netflix, they go to sleep. They don't know about what's happening online. And not only that, RWBY is a small section of the online nerdism, you know. It's not a strong IP. Now, this movie may have helped, maybe, if it was good, but no. They have to do more. They would have to do more like crossover with games, like maybe have like RWBY versus Street Fighter, RWBY versus DC, RWBY versus Marvel, like stuff like that can help grow the IP brand, like video games like that, or maybe this movie didn't do it. I'll tell you that much. This movie did not do it. At least not to a good enough stand that would help greenlight Volume 10. But like I saw some YouTubers like react to the trailer, so it got a it reached an audience in that regard. Like people who didn't know what RWBY was, some of them did react to the volume. Some of them did react to the trailer. But that's about it. Like some reaction channels picked it up. They watched the trailer. But beyond that, I don't think Volume 9 is going to be helped by the existence of these two films, unfortunately. Is RWBY worth knowing? Um, some would say yes. Disney would make RWBY worse. My guy, look at the writers who are writing this thing now. I have a hard time believing that any writer that Disney hired would be worse off than what we have now. Um, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Okay, guys, I'll answer like some more questions here. We've been going for an hour, and then I will hop off. But what do you guys want to talk about? Still hate Yang can handle Wonder Woman. That's cringe. Was there a scene where they fought? Yeah, in this film, the RWBY characters were always going to look better than the Justice League characters because, like I said, it's a RWBY film first and a Justice League movie second. It's so they're always gonna favor the RWBY characters more so than the DC ones. In before Kickstart for Volume 10, so creators can. Oh, it moved. Wonder Woman was in control. If any writer from Disney worked on a RWBY project, it would be all about Bumblebee instead of the Team RWBY. How's that any different than how it is now? I mean, these writers very much cater to the shippers. So I mean, RWBY and Fortnite would help. That would help. That's a good idea. If they could get RWBY characters in Fortnite, that would be huge. That's how you branch out the IP. That's how you grow the IP. Fortnite, stuff like that. Yeah, that's smart. That's what you need to do. They should be trying to do stuff like that. I don't know how that works, or if Fortnite would even care. Like for example, I know Fortnite recently did some WWE characters. Like they had Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch in Fortnite. So I don't know how that relationship works. How you get your own IP or characters or actors in the game, but if they could do that, it'd be a smart approach. Yes, somehow Yang was able to punch Wonder Woman, and it was bullshit. RWBY characters can't fight characters like Wonder Woman. I'm just now seeing your screen, seeing your super chat because I was looking at the other screen. If you've been watching JJK, give me your thoughts on Toji. I have not. Jujutsu Kaisen. I think I watched like the first. I won't say I have not. I watched it like weeks ago. I can't remember what. I'm trying to figure out how far I got. Let's see. Toji. I think I got to like episode. I think I saw the entire arc where Toji went ham. I like his character. I thought it was cool. I thought it was a damn good fighter, a damn good animated. His fighting style was animated well. I thought he was a dope character. Was I happy when he got killed? I was because I thought it was very satisfying because he was kicking too much ass and he seemed very OP. So when what's his face Gojo leveled up, I was very much fist pumping when he got his ass basically cut in half with that purple shit. But yeah, I thought it was a cool character. Cool design, cool fighting style. Bad father though, bad father for sure. But I haven't watched that show in a minute. I need to actually go back and watch like the rest of these episodes for season 2. I think it's season 2. I think that's what it was. I think it was season 2. But thanks again for the super chat. Unrelated question: have you seen Castlevania? I've seen the first season of that on Netflix, and I haven't watched a single episode since. I thought the first season was good. The first season was good. I have not watched a second after that though. I don't know why. How far they got? I think they got like 4 seasons. I've only watched the first season, which I enjoyed. Or maybe I did get to season 2. Oh my god. How far did I get in that show? It's all a blur. I know I completed season 1. I know that for a fact. But that's all I can say. 5 seasons. Oh, this is a new one. See, I'm a completionist, so before I watch that, I would have to go back and watch the previous seasons, which I might as well. I don't know why I don't do that. I like the first season. This is so much content. There's so much goddamn content. I don't know how I was able to watch Invincible because I was behind on that. I had to binge watch those episodes, and I was avoiding spoilers the whole entire time. You know, there's so much stuff to watch out there, man. There's so much stuff. But yeah, I thought it was really good. Castlevania is great. Yeah, I can imagine. Maybe that'll be the next thing I watch. I don't know. There's so much. I haven't watched Castlevania. Haven't watched the latest Game of Thrones. Haven't watched a lot of shit. Yeah, I'm behind. I'm behind on everything. RWBY is a pet project. I agree. Oh boy. Okay, guys. That's a wrap. Keep this video short, about an hour long. That way somebody can come back and watch it later, not have to watch a 2-hour video. I'm going to be streaming all the time now. So my next stream will probably be either tomorrow or the day after tomorrow for sure. I guarantee. Streaming tomorrow, 19th or the 20th on this channel. Actually have another channel that I'm working on as well. That's taking a bit of my time, but I will definitely be streaming on this channel tomorrow or the day after tomorrow as well. I'm actually looking to invest in a new camera. This one is fine, but I haven't decided yet if I'm going to get a this is a webcam, the Logitech. I'm deciding on if I'm going to upgrade to a actual camera that I will use as a webcam, and then just convert it by way of the video card or something like that. We haven't decided yet, but I mean the quality of this camera is fine. I just feel like it could be better. I feel like it could be crisper. So I might have to get away from the USB cameras like this one and get an actual legit camera and just plug it into the computer by HDMI. But we'll see how that goes because those aren't cheap. This Logitech is I think like I bought it like a less than 200. So when I get a camera, it's gonna be expensive. So I have to decide if I'm content with this quality or if I want to upgrade to something else. But I think I do. But there's so many damn cameras out there, whether it be Sony or there's so many damn options out there. So we'll see. But thank you guys for joining. Like I said, I'll be streaming again tomorrow, or the day after tomorrow. And we'll see what I'm talking about. Like it's gonna be interesting on this channel because I'm gonna be talking about a lot of stuff in the nerdum space. So it's not gonna be like if you guys like RWBY, whatever I talk about, you're gonna know about it. I'm not gonna be like talking about something that's so far off the RWBY spectrum, So anything that's going on online that's kind of nerdy, whether it be anime or television or video games, that's what you kind of expect. So that's what we be getting. All right, guys, appreciate you. Remember to like, leave a comment, share, and I will talk to you guys later. This movie did not need to be made. Okay? It did not. Sorry.